Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to episode 91 of CrossButtonVR, our journey into the world of VR. Now, I'm your host, Laurie, and it is an honour to be joined by one of the biggest scallywags in the metaverse. It's Reece. Hello.
Hello there.
Hello. I feel like you can live up to the scallywag.
I feel like you've already done kind of like a pirate one before, haven't you?
Are pirates scallywags? I don't think that's just pirates. I mean, pirates are scallywags, but
they fit the bill.
Other things can be scallywags.
Yeah,
if the shoe fits.
I'm going to come in with an eye patch.
Hey, it's a bit of foreshadowing for some of the news we've got later. Pirates. But hold the thought there. Okay. But you are well though.
Yeah, not doing too bad. How's your week been?
Just same now. We're in the countdown to Christmas, helping the kids make their Christmas lists. Trying to just think, oh God, where are we going to put all the stuff that they want? And oh God,
just don't buy it.
Simple. Took my dog.
Buy it all digital.
Took my dog to his first puppy grooming session today. He looks very cute now. He came out all floofy. Did you groom your dogs, Reece?
They're both short-haired dogs, so they don't need to be groomed.
Oh, well.
Just give them a little brush every now and then if you want. But
he was looking quite a lot like Chewbacca. This is my dog. He was just very, very long, shaggy hair. So yeah, we thought we'd better get him tidied up. So yeah, that was the exciting part of my day.
I've not had that much excitement in my day, so no, at least your Friday was more exciting than mine.
Hard to compete with that.
Definitely is.
Cool. Well, we've got a packed show. Going to be talking about the Game Awards, the VR nominees that we've got there. PlayStation did a big one of their days of having a big blowout of news on their blog, which is always exciting for us.
Yes.
And some other stuff, other bits and bobs happening as well. And we've been playing some new games, some updates to some old games. So yeah, let's dive in. Before we do though, let's remind everyone that if they would like to support us, please give the podcast a sub on whatever service they're using. Hit subscribe, like, comment, all that kind of stuff. Leave us a review, whatever it is that you can do, and find us on Blue Sky and everywhere else at CrossButtonVR. Thank you.
Yes, that's correct.
That is correct. That's easy to remember. And whilst you're there, follow at the Mimics Fail as well, because there's some damn fine chaps over there producing excellent content every Thursday. Every time.
You always go to say Tuesday. We're Tuesday.
We're
Thursday.
Tuesday.
It's simple, okay? It's not hard to forget.
I should say to everyone, see you next Tuesday.
That'll still confuse you.
I would. So let's jump into the topic of the show. And it's the start of awards season. Well, awards season's already in. We had the Golden Joysticks. They've had their awards, so they've been and gone already. And lots of awards for Helldivers too. I thought you'd be pleased to see. I was very happy to see they got some recognition, because I feel like they weren't snubbed for the Game Awards because they've got quite a few nominations, but no Game of the Year things. They did win Console Game of the Year, which
is that a joystick?
The Golden Joysticks. They won Multiplayer Game of the Year as well, which
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean they'll be happy with that. Multiplayer Game of the Year.
I mean, I will agree with a lot of people. It has kind of fell off now. Like, it's not something that's spoke about a lot, but any live service game about 6 months after launch, or how many months it's been, people stop talking about it after that point.
Yeah, I think there's still people playing it, aren't there?
Oh, there's definitely still people playing it. I've got one of my friends who's always on it on Steam, so
they just need to sort of break in case of emergency, break glass, hit that button, and just bring in the Hellgast from.
That would
bring in the Hellgast as an enemy faction that you can go to war against, because people would lose their shit over that.
Jimmy will be all over that.
Jimmy would be there. He'd be writing a whole magazine all about it. It'd be great.
He'll have another Zine coming out just based on that.
Hey, he got funded.
I know, he did really well with that. The Kill Zine. Really proud of him. Absolutely lovely.
Kill Zine. Oh, it's a fantastic pun, just for nothing else.
I know.
It's just should have got funded just for that pun.
And
go on.
I believe VR Realm actually had one of his art pieces in there that he drew a long time ago.
Very cool.
Of only Helgens. So yeah, really awesome.
Yeah. Oh God. I mean, I was talking to Jimmy on somewhere, Blue Sky, X, maybe Twitter. Why don't they bring it back? It's just, oh God, it's insane. They should really bring that back.
He has an entire script for a game, and he's waiting for somebody to contact him. So come on, Sony.
It's just such a good franchise. It looks so, in the world of sci-fi, it's kind of it's just so distinctive. It's like in video games, there's nothing like you see them and you know exactly what franchise it is. You know what you're getting into. It's so bizarre that Sony have just haven't touched it in like over a generation now. Ugh. Sony
being Sony.
Yep, fuckers. Anyway, we digress. The Game Awards. They have lots of categories, but one of them is the best VR/AR category. Game of the year. So for the best game experience playable in virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform. It could be any platform, Reece. It could be any. And I've got to admit, there's a few surprises in here. So let's go through the list. First up, there's Arizona Sunshine Remake. Second is Asgard's Wrath 2. Then we've got Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, and finally Metro Awakening. What do you make of that lot?
I mean, I think we've all seen the comments online asking why certain games haven't been nominated and things like that, and I've been trying to wrap my head around it. But for the games that have been nominated, I'm happy with the ones that are there. I think they all pretty much standout titles. I'd say the weakest of the lot is Metal Hellsinger, not because it's a bad game or something that I didn't enjoy. It's just because it's probably not of a similar quality to the ones that are on that list. Like, I'd say, like, them games that are on there all feel AAA, although I've still not got around to playing Asgard's Wrath, but my brother's been playing it and it's absolutely blowing his mind every minute. So I'd say each game on there, bar Metal Hellsinger, feels pretty much like a AAA title. A lot of money's went into making it. Again, not saying that's not the case of Metal Hellsinger, but I'm happy with the nominations. I think they're all varied in a little way. Maybe a little bit shooty for a bit, but I think Batman's going to win though.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Game Awards, they tend to be quite a mainstream because it's people.
Yeah, it does seem
it's
that way.
that sort of panel of, and we know that outlets generally are crap when it comes to VR. No offense. I mean, I don't know if Upload VR get a sense of get any input into it, but if not, it's mad if they don't, because like if any outlet that can talk with VR with authority, it's them. It's some of the nonsense that you see like on IGN and stuff about. And this kind of list kind of reflects that way. And last year's was the same, and it's a very kind of unimaginative list. And there's so many games that, like, there's so many good games out there that just aren't getting, because these people aren't playing them. The panel of people that nominate these games just aren't playing them. It's not on their radar at all. I mean, Arizona Sunshine Remake. I mean, great game, but it's a remake of an old game. I don't know. It feels like, for me, it's Max Mustard not being there is a real snub, especially when Astrobot got the main game of the year. I mean, that's such a good VR game.
I suppose they haven't really went for anything indie though, have they? It's a shame, but I definitely, if I had a Game of the Year awards kind of thing, I think I would have put Max Mustard on there, or at least win one category or be nominated for one category, because it's well deserving. Although they did win an award this year themselves, didn't they? They won the best MR game, I think it was, an award thing. Even though it's not an MR game, but hey, they still won an award.
I mean, Metro Awakening, could that get it? I don't know. It's a very good game, but it's just, again, it's like, that's a Metro game. We've heard of Metro games. Let's nominate that. I mean, I agree with you. I think Arkham Shadow surely.
I think the thing is, though, is like with these type of sections, because when you vote for them, because you have to put your vote in, don't you? People get to that VR part and they'll go, I've not played any of these games, but I know what Batman is, and they're going to vote for that. It's just going to be they'll kind of be like, oh, if I was to play a game, I'd want to play the Batman one, so I'm going to vote for that. And that's what usually happens with these voting things. It kind of skews the actual.
I'd love to know what the long list was. Like, what other games?
It'd be interesting to see.
But yeah, Metal Hellsinger, like, no offense to that game, but how did that get there as that's not one of the best 5 games of the year that's been released?
No, it's not. It's a lot of fun, and I would recommend picking it up 100%. It's a great game. It is a lot of fun. But to be on a Game of the Year list is quite strange.
I mean, great, and that's for not PR.
Yeah, it's not a discredit to the game itself or the team or the people that worked on it. It's just a bit. I wouldn't say to anyone that's my Game of the Year. Like, not even coming to a conversation when it's come to that game. Don't get me wrong, had a great time, but you've seen how much I've raved about the game. But yeah, even then, it's not a Game of the Year in no way, shape, or form. It's a good game though.
Yeah, it's tough because a lot of the big games for the year are going to be things like Behemoth, Alien, Rogue Incursion, and Wanderer. They're probably the three, and then Metro in there as well. And so they haven't come out yet, so it's hard. It's hard to.
Yeah, a lot of people online were saying Resident Evil 4 should have been nominated, and then people were trying to speculate as to why it wasn't nominated.
Yeah, because that was this year, wasn't it? That was February.
It was the VR mode came out in February, I think it was, wasn't it, or November last year?
Are we thinking because it is just a mode to a game which came
out?
Well,
that's what I'm thinking. Then people go, well, Elden Ring's there, and I'm like,
well, and also Arizona Sunshine.
Yeah, but Arizona Sunshine is a full-fledged VR game, a remake of an old VR game from X amount of years ago, whereas Resident Evil 4 is a VR mode. I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around as to why it's not there, because it's deserving to be there. It's a great VR mode, and the fact that it puts the whole game into VR, it does deserve to be there. And 100%, I'm a bit disappointed it's not. But then again, last year, Capcom, did Resident Evil 8 win last year? Wasn't it? VR. I feel like it was Resident Evil 8, wasn't it?
No, it was Call of the Mountain.
Was it Call of the Mountain? Well, It should have been Resident Evil 8. Okay, there you go. Got my vote there. But yeah, no, it should definitely be on this list. It should. And I just can't put a finger on as to why it's not. It is a shame. But I'm not disappointed with the games that are there. I'm not. I hope Metro gets some good votes, but I just think Batman's just going to win by people going, not played it, but Batman's cool.
I think probably more people own a Quest. I mean, fair play to Meta, because all 5 of these games are on their platform, and 2 of them are exclusive to it. So, good work on their part in building that lineup of games.
Well, they are doing really well with their first party titles that are coming out.
It's like Meta. Go on.
No.
I was going to say Meta in the VR space are kind of what like Sony are in the normal console space, where Sony are just kind of dominating. If you look at the Game of Year list, all 6 of those games are on PS5, and that's the only platform that you can say that for. And that's the kind of what role Meta are doing in VR.
Exactly.
This PSVR is the kind of underdog in it, and I think Sony they're just like, they don't like that, so they just ignore it completely.
I'm still hoping we hear about these 2 games that are apparently in development that still keeps getting brought up every now and then. I think it was just to pull the walls over our eyes, but
maybe.
But I mean,
optimistic. There was a rumor, wasn't there, the state of play at the beginning of December, so we might find out. They might drop one. I think if there's a big state of play, the idea is it's going to be like a big, more of a showcase that's going to be for the whole second half of the PS4, because like right now all those games are in development. They are making every game that's going to be released on PS5 is in development now. 4 years is not that long a thing to say, like, we're making this game, it's not going to be soon, but just let you know, Last of Us 3, it's coming, and it will be probably like one of the last games we put out on the platform, so it's going to be 3 or 4 years away. But why? I don't see the harm in telling people that now, because we know they're making it. Just build the hype and build that. Okay, your long-term games, you've got Last of Us Part 3. Short-term, we've got stuff like Ghost of Yotai and Wolverine, maybe,
whenever that's
Death Stranding, and then there'll be some stuff in the middle that they could maybe start to tease as well. And so there'll be, if there are 1 or 2 VR games, for Christ's sake, like, now is the time. Don't tell people now what it is. If we have to wait 3 or 4 years for it, still just like now's the time to just tell people that you are making something. And if you do a big showcase and it doesn't include any VR, that'd be quite awkward for them. I think they would slot in at least 1 trailer for something in VR, even if it's an Astrobot port.
Yeah, and I mean, even just from a perspective of like, with the new sales that have come up, which we'll be speaking about more in detail soon. Like, could you imagine that like 2 weeks prior to that sale, they went, and this is something we're working on for PSVR2, and then they hit with the sales. Could you imagine what that would have been like? It'd be like, okay, well, I mean, the sales probably are doing good. But
I mean, they can do a January sale again, can't they?
Yeah, it's just kind of one of them things to go, because the one thing you always hear, it was the same when James came on here from Incisive. He basically said the press is probably the hardest thing on the PSVR2, and it does put a lot of people wanting to put their games on there. And I completely agree with that. It does always seem that way. Every time there's a new article, it's PSVR2's dead, or Sony doesn't care about the PSVR2. Not that there's a lot more articles that come out, but it's press, social perception, and things like that. So I think it does kind of make it a bit difficult for all these indie developers to want to develop for it, because a lot of them, would have to go out of their way to pay for a a VR headset to obviously kind of, develop for that system.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it a bit more, daunting, I think would be the best word for it.
Yeah, well, it's an easier way to Sony to show that they do care about the headset is to actually show that they are making games for it and they're supporting it.
Yeah.
Also, just they should platform some of these really unique, cool games. Like Synapse is still worth talking about and showing people. And I know they put it on the PS Plus, but why not just put it on a pedestal really and just talk about it a bit and just show it off and be like, we're proud of this and stuff. I'm proud of the fact that Resident Evil 4 is only playable on that headset.
Yeah, it's like even if you wanted, it's things that I know we've got the leak of Resident Evil 7 eventually coming as well, which I'm not holding my breath for it. But like even to this day, that's not a thing you can play on PC without a mod. Like you have to mod your game to play that. It's not just how easy it is on the PSVR 1. And there are still games locked on the PSVR 1 I still want to come across. And I think if they announced that they were bringing them across, I think some people that are still keeping the PSVR 1 would be like, "Do you know what? Now time for me to upgrade. They're the games I wanted to play, and now they're getting a better version." So,
well, let's talk about the fact that
let's move
we've
on.
been talking about Black Friday. Deals have been confirmed, and it is the case that the Horizon bundle, Call of the Mountain bundle, is £350 in the UK, which is ridiculous price.
An absolute steal.
You can get it even cheaper. You can get it without Call of the Mountain. I'm seeing everywhere seems to be selling that for £340. And it's often places where you can get discounts stacked on top of that as well. So
I've seen some places with the charging dock as well. It's
where was that? Because the charging deck is.
I don't know.
If you're picking up a PSVR2, get the charging deck because you will.
I can't remember. I saw it on a post. I don't know if it was one of the ones in America or it was just somebody just throwing it in as well. But I think it was like an extra £10 on top.
Well, those controllers they drain quickly, and
the dock charges it pretty fast.
Them back. Yeah, you just want to get in the habit of every time you finish playing, just putting them back in the dock rather than just sitting them loose on the side, and then they're always good to go. But yeah, without that, if you were having to put the cable in, I think I wouldn't. Because you have to do one and then do the other, or have two chargers set up and two cables. It would just be annoying because you kind of want to recharge them after every time you play the system, really.
Yeah, that's all. I think I was.
If only they sold them separately, and you could have two pairs, so you could just alternate. Yeah, oh well. But yes, $350. I think it's $350 as well for those in the US that listen to us.
Yeah.
Euros as well. It's cheap everywhere. So yeah, pick up one of those headsets. God, it's such a good bargain.
And another thing, obviously, as well, we've said it before. I've used it on the PC. Even if you're just getting this as a PC VR headset, yes, you will have to buy the adapter, and I'll come on to something about that soon. It's a great PC headset. Like, you're not going to get a better PC VR headset for that price, even though you have to buy the adapter, which comes onto Smiths in the UK. They've actually discounted the adapter to £40. So that's dropped it down by £10.
Nice.
So that's helpful as well. I can't see anywhere else that's done it because I was like, I'm going to quickly search that. But no, even if you're getting it for a PC VR headset, it's decent. It really is.
Okay, well, let's move on to. There was a PlayStation blog this week. They did their thing where they just sort of start talking on Twitter and they say, "Oh, stay tuned for some announcements," and then they just drop a series of, I think 5 or 6 different tweets, and they put out a blog post summarizing everything just with a load of news. And that's great that they do that, but that's such a niche way to promote the damn thing.
Doesn't really help, does it?
So just the easiest things they could do. They could just do a VR state of play, and they can say, look, we're going to do it could just be entirely a VR partner showcase, and just like all these games that they put out, there's 5 trailers they put out there. I'm sure they could find 2 or 3 more to make it up to a good 15 minutes, and just say we're just going to do a short 15-minute VR partner showcase, and people would love it. Tune into our YouTube. I think
it'd also help them kind of get a scale of how many people are still interested in PSVR2 as a whole. I think it'd be quite interesting for them to see that. Just for numbers, because obviously how many people would tune in. They should just partner with Upload VR and do it.
Well, yeah, they don't do that. They put out the blog instead, and they've done this a few times now. So this seems to be their preferred method for it. So they revealed that Mare, having an absolute mare, that game, it's out now, and that game looks like a kind of Team Eco type experience where you've got a kind of guided companion through the environment, puzzle solving as you go. So it looks very cool. I like the art style and the aesthetic. I think it looks really nice, and that's out now.
Yeah.
I've not had a chance to play that yet. Has that previously been on other platforms? Have you played that anywhere?
I haven't played it anywhere. We spoke about it before because I remember saying Realm played it and he had a great time with it, and it was one that you kind of was interested in. It utilises quite a lot of the stuff of the PSVR2 as well, including eye tracking, which is really good to see. So interested to give it a go at some point. Hopefully not too long.
Next up, there was Trombone Champ, which we will park and we'll come back to in a minute, but that is out today as you're listening to this podcast, I believe. So we'll come back to that in a second, though, because we've been playing that and we've been allowed to talk about it, so we shall give our thoughts on that in a second. Next up was Masters of Light, which comes out on December the 18th, and this looks like some sort of rhythm game where you are some sort of celestial god-type creature in space and trying to do things.
I've played it on Quest.
Okay, and, that helps.
It's a good bit of fun, but and we had a bit of a discussion with this in the Discord about this type of game, because on Quest you can play this with just hand tracking, and it feels right because with this type of game it's advertised as such, like it's the way the videos were, it's like my fingers were moving, all that kind of stuff. So playing it on Quest with the hand tracking, it felt really cool. It was a decent experience. I never tried this with the controllers on there, but I'm looking forward to giving it another go. Yeah, it's not a bad game, and I think some people are going to enjoy it. And I think as well, this is another one I've seen that they are utilising quite a bit of the headset features as well as the controllers. So that's always nice to hear.
Good. Well, try and give it a go. Next up, there was a new trailer, so a story trailer for Alien Rogue Incursion, and this was quite a nice trailer.
Good.
Yeah, it looks really good. And if you want to, if you don't mind getting some of the story details spoiled, it's worth checking out. It doesn't really spoil much. It's just
I think we're very vague
the
with
setup
it
and the context.
Yeah,
it's more the setup for it and why you're there and who these people are and stuff. So that is coming December the 19th, and we've got a new date as well for it to come to Quest on February the 13th now.
Nice.
So that game looks really good. It looks very premium VR. It looks far too terrifying for something that I want to play. Shooty, but with
the bit where the face hugger crawled out of the egg, I was like, yeah, I'm going to struggle in that bit.
It's just the aliens are very fast, and I don't like anything too frantic and jumpy and just stressful. It just looks
Laurie will
like a
struggle
game.
at reloading.
Yeah. I don't. It's just stressful games. I'm not here for it. I just give me Max Mustard. It's a nice chill time. Give me a kayak. Give me just a nice.
Give me a kayak, some lovely water, serene music.
That's the opposite of stress. They couldn't be further on the scale of how stressed I get playing that game. It's the opposite effect of stressing me out. It mellows me out. And the final game they promoted was Hitman World of Assassination, which has a March 27th or 27th of March release date. That's been delayed, hasn't it? That was due in December.
It was meant to be this year.
2 months. So hopefully they saw the reaction of the last Hitman trilogy that was released and was in a sorry old state, and they probably thought, you know what, let's just hold this back, because December is already pretty packed as it is. Aliens there, that's the big game.
I think they said they got a few more bits to iron out, so they said. So
I'm sure Sony were like, you know what, if you want to put that into year 3 of the headset, then that's good, because year two is for the PSVR2 has been pretty stacked. So let's hope that year 3 we'll have Hitman. Let's hope it has Astrobot and some other stuff as well that we don't know about. Maybe another Resident Evil game. Maybe, he says.
Yeah, we can only hope. But who knows?
Okay.
Resident Evil 9, come on.
A few other little bits of news then. Pirates VR Jolly Roger has been announced, and that's a Steam and PSVR2 only game.
Yes.
So sorry, Quest people. And this game looks jolly good fun.
Aha, good one. Yes, it does. It looks really good. Our good friends over at VR Kiwi are the publishers on this one, which is good to see. Always like seeing them publish some stuff. I've been following it for a while on Steam. I've actually got the Steam page open here, and it looks good. It looks like a very high fidelity game. It reminds me a little bit of like Bootstrap Island, but instead of being a survival roguelike, this seems more of like a story based one. I've never played it. I'm intrigued.
It looks very much a totally me game, really. Like action adventure. It kind of like a bit of Call of the Mountain-esque to it, where you've got a bit of kind of climbing, exploring, going around to kind of jungly stuff, sunken ships, traps, and stuff. 4 to 6 hours long. It's got climbing, it's got swimming, it's got sliding around on ropes, puzzles,
It's got
and
shooting.
things. I think there's a bit of shooting. It's not like a shooter,
It's
but there are
musket
wild
guns
animals.
and things like that, isn't
There's
it? So
Pirates of the Caribbean style skeletons and cursed pirates and things. So it just looks like Pirates of the Caribbean. Shame they couldn't get the Pirates of the Caribbean license, because that would have been made it a lot.
that
more
would have
high-profile.
cost probably more than the game itself. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it would have done. But you think Disney would have been like, yeah, all right, we're not making a Pirates of the Caribbean game anytime soon. You might as well make this. You might as well make one for us. Yeah, I always wonder why game developers don't. Do they ever come a point where they just like, we've got a game here, it's really good. Let's take it to Disney and see if they want to license it.
They've done the Star Wars games in VR, haven't they? I mean, they might as well try and push some of their other stuff. Be good. But yeah, the developer Splitlight Studio has done other games, one of which is on the PSVR2, which is Afterlife, which I believe was previously published by Perp. Correct me if I'm wrong, comments. But I think that received mixed reviews. However, on Steam, it's got positive. Yeah, I'm intrigued for this one. It comes out, I think it's on the 14th of January on Steam. Yeah, 14th of January on Steam, and then Q2, I think.
Q2.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope this one is good, because it looks like one of the best looking games I've seen in VR. Like, no joke, it looks spectacular.
I believe it's been in development for quite some time as well, so hopefully he's really pushed it. Yeah,
so I mean, if it plays well, like, I'm just looking at screenshots of it now. There's like some sort of cheater that looks kind of photorealistic. And the fact that it's not on Quest says that it's going to be quite, because they want it on Quest if they can. So it's just that it can't run on Quest. So unless maybe they'll do that later, they'll sort of down spec it and get it working for Quest at a decent level. But again, potentially could be another really good, strong release for the headset in year 3 on the market. But we shall see. Fingers crossed on that one.
Yep.
Similar story, Subside. That's already out for PCVR, and the developer's been popping up on Twitter, tweeting people just saying that it's putting together a trailer at the moment for the PSVR2 port, and the plan is apparently to get that game out and then work on the PS5 Pro patch enhanced version of it as well. So that's very exciting for me, because it looks really good. I'm very excited to be able to play that enhanced.
It'll blow you away.
And it looks really cool. So I'm hoping it's not long now, because it's out on PC. I hope it puts it out and then sort of fleshes it out into more of keeps updating. It seems like one of those games, like a bit of a No Man's Sky, that could just keep updating it and adding more gameplay and more stuff to do in it. But even if it's just nice swimming around underwater and doing stuff and just looking cool, I'm totally down for that as well. So can't wait.
It's worth it just for the first initial experience you'll get, like that first. But when you first load it up and you go,
bobbing your head underwater.
Yeah, just how you're when you see it through your eyes, it's one of them things that I can't put it into words. It's crazy. It really is.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, talking of PS5 Pro patches, Gran Turismo 7 has its patch now live. So that's good. So that's the whole PS5 Pro patch, and that does transfer over some updates. Also, transfer over to the PSVR2 as well. That gets some enhanced stuff going on with it. It improves the rendering quality. There you go. So I actually played this game today, and I can confirm it looks very good. I can't say I've played it recently enough to be able to sort of compare one to the other, what it looks like not on the Pro, but I played it today, and it still blows me away anyway, but it did look really crisp and really sharp. So whether they've I couldn't point to exactly what it is that they've done, but it does definitely look very, very sharp, very crisp. Now, it's still worth definitely one of the games, because some of the games on the headset can be a bit soft and a bit blurry, but this is not one of them now. That it has. I know it uses the foveated rendering as well, which helps, but it looks very crisp and very nice. Very nice.
Nice. Does it look nice, does it?
Yeah, I tweeted out a video of it, or Blue Skyed out a video of it. Just like whatever. just in a race, and someone replied and said, "You know what? This is the first video that I've seen that actually makes me want to get this headset now." I was like, "Yes."
So yes, I always love it when
check in the post,
says that.
Please, Sony. Check in the post.
But
great. Again, it just shows you people just need to see this stuff in. Like, Sony could just do. They should be they're discounting down the headset. You could just put out loads of trailers and adverts with Call of the Mountain, GT7, and Resident Evil 4 remake, and let's just like those experiences. Maybe add No Man's Sky in there as well, just for some space, looking around in space and things.
Have you tried that on the
VR
Pro
as well?
yet?
I have never played No Man's Sky ever, Pro or
Damn.
no Pro or VR or no VR. I have never played that game.
Mate, you need to.
I know it just seems like a big one to get.
Yeah. It's one to jump into, like, you know, in increments kind of thing. Start off with 20 minutes and work your way up, kind of thing.
But yeah, I mean, like with Alien as well coming soon, like Sony could put a Metro, like Sony could put together such an impressive, like advert sizzle reel for like this is the stuff that you can do on this headset, and like pisses me off they're forced to me and you to try and convince people that it's a good buy. But I mean, yeah, GT7 though, it looks amazing, it plays amazing. You play a racing game not in VR now, and it's like it seems so boring. Frankly, it just seems so shit. And playing in GT7 in non-VR now, you just think it's just so boring and slow, and just so much less exciting than playing it in VR. It's weird. There you go. Clean Sheet's got some more DLC. You'd like to tell us about that one, Reece?
Yeah, it was like a surprise out of the blue. There was no kind of like lead up to this, not that I know of. But yes, Clean Sheet. It's they've dropped a new one called London Cages, and this is another mode that kind of puts up their set play where the players are all kind of taking shots at you in different, you know, mocapped kind of motions, which, when you think of it, might not be that fun. But the way they do it is they cater it to the certain level that is like the Favelas had like a very inspired. They inspired it around that type of football and the way they play there. And they've done the exact same thing with the London one. It kind of feels similar to how, like, I don't know if everyone ever played FIFA Street or anything like that, where they'll be like bouncing the ball off the wall and then one of them will take a shot at you. And I tell you what, I think I saved maybe about 3 or 4 shots. Like, this was pretty difficult, the way they were taking shots. They were just coming out of nowhere. Like, you think one person's going to take a shot and all of a sudden he's passed it back over or kicked it off a wall back over to somebody else. And then, yeah, just kept losing it. I had fun with it. It looks really good. The music is really good in the background as well while you're you're in the goal. It's good. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm going to jump on, because I played it on the PSVR2 up here, and I'm going to try it on the Quest in the bigger room, in the living room at some point tomorrow, I think, because I want to try and dive around like an absolute loon. But no, it's really good. They've done a good job of it. Same as they did with the fellas, you know. Definitely worth checking out. I'm a big fan of Clean Sheet. It's one of them VR games where you kind of, it's one of the ones where you can just start it up, play it for a little bit, and then just go on to whatever else you was actually coming on to play. It kind of warms up your headset, you know, so you don't get those foggy lenses. You know, it just warms it up, warms you up, and then you're good to go. So I think it's a fun game. It's a shame it doesn't have a platinum. I'm really gutted it doesn't, because I feel like I would have just worked my ass off with the platinum on that one. But yeah, it's decent though. They've done a good job.
Well, another game that doesn't have a platinum is Batman Arkham Shadow, because it's not on PlayStation. But what it does have is a New Game Plus mode coming soon. And you've also said there's some post-credit secret scenes or content been added.
Yes, they've shown a roadmap.
Explain this to me.
Well, from all I can kind of gather is it's going to be like cut scenes of lore adding to the characters that are in the game to give you a bit more context and details as actually involving them characters. I think it's going to be a similar way to how kind of like the trophies worked on like the Arkham games, where you'd pick up the character trophies and you'd be able to read their backstory, and it'd be like Harley Quinn started at this place and then worked her way up and then she became, you know, who she is now. It just kind of gives you that lore that you would be able to find in the comics and things like that. But obviously for some of the characters that are made set for the game, then maybe you wouldn't be able to get that. So I think that's what they're trying to go with. I'm happy with that. I'm a big fan of the Arkham game, so for them to keep adding these type of things to the VR version, it's good to see.
You know what? I've never played any Arkham games.
Oh, Ben,
that's one of my biggest.
You should both. Yeah,
one of my biggest sort of black spots in
I think you should give it a go. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've
always on sale as well.
Arkham
Always
Asylum. I was waiting for ages for it to come to Switch, and then by the time it did come to Switch, I'd kind of moved on to the Switch. So
I bet you any money it's on sale right now on the Black Friday sale.
I mean, it'll be on sale somewhere for sure.
On the PlayStation.
You can get all the Arkham after the games are on subscription services now, anyway. So.
Oh yeah, that's true as well.
I can play it. It's not through lack of access to these games. It's just through, like, never
lack
get
of interest.
It's just always new stuff to play. We got so much new stuff we have to try and keep up with. So, Arkham Shadow though, it still remains the game that I will almost certainly get a Quest 3S at some point just to play this game. So the very definition of a system seller for me.
It's great. I need to go back to it. I've done quite a bit now, but I need to jump back into it.
Yeah, I think unless something comes up, or at least unless I have a kind of a moment of madness, extravagance. There's all these PSVR2 games coming out in the next month or two, but then if it does settle down, then I'll be like, okay, now it's time to get a Quest. So
PSVR2 doesn't seem to be settling down, does it? Let's be honest.
No, well, there's no games on it though.
I know there's no games yet. It keeps us busy. It really does.
Hey, talking of keeping you busy, you and Alex need to jump into Green Hell VR co-op mode because you two love your co-op game and you can make some great content. I can actually because I'm going to get PS Plus again this week because that's also on sale for.
I can't renew mine because apparently you can't renew it if you're already a member. You can't. I think you can
get a discount if you want to upgrade to premium if you're not already on.
I don't want to upgrade to premium. I'm already on premium. I want to extend my membership for another year. But Sony this being very anti-consumer.
Yeah, this is why I've not had it for like the best part of 6 months because there was the days of play when it was really cheap and I couldn't get it because I was still a subscriber and the subscription ran out like the day after that days of play thing ended and I was like, you absolute fuckers. So it's just on point of principle I've just not had PS Plus now until it's on sale again because I thought I'm not having this every year. I'm just going to wait because they always do a Black Friday sale. So if you just renew it at this time of year, and then you just know that every year you'll be good to renew it.
That's what I used to do, but apparently you can't extend it now. You can't just extend your membership on the basis of one you got. So I might have to have a look on an online website, see if any of them are doing the 30% off for the code, game, or do games still sell digital stuff? I don't know.
Just start a new PSN account, Reece, and just get it up
That's
again.
not the answer, Laurie. You know,
you'd have to restart trophies, but you're not bothered about trophies, are you? So it doesn't matter.
I don't want to lose them all.
Befriend you again. But anyway, Green Hell VR has got a co-op mode coming, which is pretty cool, isn't it? That's pretty cool update.
I'm happy to see this.
That'll be fun. You played much Green Hell?
I played a little bit of it. Thought it looked pretty good. I enjoyed my time with it. I didn't go too far into it. I think I played it at a time when there was loads of other stuff coming out and then just got busy. You know how it is.
I think, was that one when it launched, it had a few bugs and like visual issues, but they quickly patched it all and stuff.
Yeah, and they're still kind of working on it. I think there's more stuff after the co-op that they're doing as well. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how well it goes and if it, just implodes on itself. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's coming to Quest and PSVR2 as well, and that's coming on December the 16th.
Awesome. Yeah.
So not long for one. Yeah, that'd be fun. Is it just 2-player? All three of us can jump in together. That'd be fun.
I mean, the picture I saw it looked like 4 players.
4 people to play together.
I was going to say the picture looked like it's 4, so I'm hoping so.
Yeah, well, we'll drag Ben. We'll drag Ben into the wilds.
The last game we played together, I think, like VR wise, was Ghostbusters. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, he did like that. I think he's played VR since then.
No, same with me and you. That was the last game me and you played was Ghostbusters.
Oh, me and you played. Well, again, I've just told my story about PS Plus.
You did. Yeah, you was like you revolted. I understand.
Yeah, it's meant sacrificing any walkabout mini golf games. So yeah,
and we can play obviously Helldivers. We used to play that quite a bit.
Oh, the good old days. Yeah. All right,
go back to that when you renew it.
All right. We will.
Move on. Come on.
Yeah, I can play Helldivers as well because I've got that digitally. I can't play any disc games. So all my old disc games are
Sony
out for me until Sony deigned to sell me a disc drive. Anyway, that's all the news. Another busy week for news and updates and games coming out and new games being revealed. Oh, it's hard to keep up with. But
we manage.
That's what we try and do for our listeners and viewers. Just try and keep you up to date on all the things you may not have heard about yet or you may have missed. So yeah. What have we been playing, Reece? What have we been playing? Let's start.
I'll let you go first.
Oh, because I was going to talk about the one we've both been playing, so we can both go.
I mean, there's 2 games that we've both been playing, so go on.
Well, let's go with the big one. Let's go with Trombone. What's the full name of Trombone Champ?
Trombone Champ, Unflattened.
Unflattened. Sorry, can't think of Tearaway. Trombone Champ Unflattened. It's out today as you are listening to this. We've actually got permission to.
We have.
Yeah, permission.
I was thinking it might drop around about 6 o'clock. You know what PlayStation stores like, where it drops quite late at night in some regions.
Okay, the game is good. Yeah, okay,
yeah,
so
it might be then
today. Yes, because obviously this episode drops first thing in the morning. We have checked and we have been given permission to talk about the game a few hours early.
Yes.
We are just going to be giving our first impressions anyway, so hopefully it's not the sort of game that we're going to spoil or anything.
Yeah,
but
you can't spoil it.
the developers have got nothing to fear anyway, though, because we both really enjoyed this one, right?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a good laugh. It's very fun. I've jumped in it on both the Quest and the PSVR2. So we'll talk from here about PSVR2 perspective. You can go first with your thoughts, and we'll dart back and forth, and I'll jump into things you might miss.
Well, I think they've done a fantastic job with the conversion. It looks really good. It looks really crisp. The menus, the UI. If this is the first game that Flat2VR have put out, it bodes well for what's coming next. Because they've done a really great job of it. All the menus work. A lot of games I'm still playing now are a bit fiddly with the menus and stuff, like Metro Awakening. I struggle with bits of the menu on that and just getting through the kind of initial warning screen pages and stuff, just clicking through things. None of that on this. It's really nice chunky menus that are very satisfying to interact with. Looks great. Nice crisp graphics. It's obviously a very sort of clean, crisp art style. But yeah, it looks really good. And it's a lot of fun. I really like it. It's just playing Ode to Joy on the trombone. On the trombone, it's so silly. It reminds me a lot of the same kind of humor and energy and vibe of What the Bat.
Yes,
in terms, it's very kind of very silly, a bit slapstick. You feel really silly playing it, but in a way that it just makes you smile, and that is what you want from games sometimes, right? You just want a game that makes you smile. We need more of those. So well done, Flat2VR for converting this one, because it's
really happy with it.
It's good fun.
It is really good fun. I've done the I'd say about 4 or 5 songs on the campaign, because you've got campaign, free mode, and things like that. I've done about 4 or 5 songs so far. Not a lot, and like we said, this is first impressions. So literally, I'm really enjoying them. Good variety of songs, and I'm having a lot of fun. Today, though, I decided to check out some of the other little bits, like going and actually select your trombone and customizing your trombone. And I tell you what, that is one of the best customizations I've ever seen on a VR game. The way you can just grab your trombone and spray paint it in any area you want to make it any color you want. So you can do like different stripes on this trombone with your spray paint. And then you can get out the little the Sharpie, the pen, and you can like do lines on it. And you can really customize your trombone to make it your own. And to other people, they might be like, well, what's the point? That's just silly. The point is the fact that you can just that felt like a game in its own. I felt like this artist.
It's silly. There's nothing wrong with that. Being silly is fun.
And you can unlock all different trombones as well, and then you can do the same thing with those trombones. Like there's a cat trombone, and it's really silly, but it's really fun. And like if you go into this going, oh, I want to try and be a pro player, you'll get there. You will. At first, though, you might keep missing a load of notes, but I think you can really sink in time and get them high scores on the leaderboards. And seeing some of the scores there is like, mate. Obviously, there's some people in there we know the names of that have just kind of been, playing it. And I'm not going to drop their names and things like that, because I think you'll.
I'm on the leaderboard. I'm on the leaderboard.
Yeah, Laurie's on the leaderboard. I beat you.
I don't think I will be there for very long. No. Did you now? Okay,
well, yeah, I mean, you're still beating me on the global one, but it's great. It's just a really good game. It's fun to play for like 30 minutes to an hour, or even more, depending on how long you want to play it for.
I think this would make a really good party game as well, because you can have it on the social screen. People could watch it, and when you're doing the trombone motion, it's such a simple thing that translates so well to VR. The whole just moving your hand back and forward, and it changes the intonation of the note. And the tutorial as well. Shout out for that, because it does a really good job. And not all VR games do this, especially rhythm games. I can think of a few that just left me baffled and had to do a few rounds of kind of puzzling it out. But really good tutorial, and then you're into the game. And
I liked it how
it's so easy to get your hang of
tutorial as well. Like you did the tutorial, then you did the warm up song, and I thought that was really well done, because it kind of made you play the thing. And I don't know, even when I miss notes in this game, I don't ever feel frustrated, and I think that is because of the kind of like the slapstick style of the art. It's
quite forgiving as well. Yeah. Like I thought I didn't do that great, and I got S ranked on it. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
pretty good at this, yeah.
No, really happy with it, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it more because this, as everyone knows, this is one that Alex absolutely, blew his mind when they announced it, and he's really excited to play this one. So, yeah, you'll hear even more thoughts on this next week. But for our first impressions, it's definitely one to play. And if you have a family, and you all like to share the headset, I think this is one you're all going to have good fun with, and it's not too difficult to pick up.
Yeah, if you're having, I could just imagine there'll be a lot of families over Christmas that will have people around and just take it in turns on the headset. It's just so funny to watch people doing it. It's like up there with like synth riders to watch people dancing like fools. Because when you're properly going into it, the music's like playing dun 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 dun. It's so much fun. But I will say, it's a bit of an arm workout because you're holding your arms up and your arms are going up and down, and you do that for like 5 minutes a few times in a row. By the end of it, I'm like, oh god, I'll just stop playing this, because I was at the gym this morning and so my arms are already quite fatigued, and then doing this, I was like, oh bloody hell. So yeah, it's a good one to get your arms going as well.
I find it quite funny as well though, because it's like you put the trombone to your mouth and you go like that. Well, for some reason, when I kept playing it, I was starting off like that, doing it right, and the next, my arm's down here, and I'm like, hit the mic, and I'm punching myself in the stomach, and I'm like, how the hell's my arm just went from up here, like, just slowly got lower? And I think it's where I was going like that and looking at the notes, and my arm kept getting lower. And I just, even that just made me chuckle to myself. I don't know why, but it's great. It really is, and obviously it's on Steam as well. Like you said, Quest and PlayStation, so it's on every VR platform. Bar Pico, but sorry, Pico.
Oh.
Maybe one day.
And I'm just trying to see if there's a price to it.
I don't know if we have the price.
Can't see one yet.
Come on, let me. You keep talking for a bit, Laura. I'll see what I can find.
God, I can't.
Let me put you on the spot. Go on. Talk.
Well, I was just good about it. All the audience, you've got the little Mii's in the audience. They all look like little Mii's characters. And they will go wild as well when you hit a few perfects. Notes, the crowd gets more and more crazy and enthusiastic and stuff. So that's really good. And also, you may not have done this yet. When you are on the stage before the curtains come up, or even after the curtains come up, you can look around the stage and you can see into the wings, obviously backstage. And it's really funny if you do this. There's loads of like random cutouts of just random stuff, like was it like Shiba dogs, just like random things, like internet meme stuff that's just there in the wings, but it's just no point to it being there other than to be silly. So yes, you just have a look around behind the scenes backstage and just see all the things you can see in the theatre. That really made me laugh.
And I found the price, and it's, I'm going to say, from what I've played already, worth it.
What is the price? You can tell us.
$14.99.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah, dollars. You can say pounds. If that's dollars, then what's that?
So that's what, $12.99.
Yeah, I reckon $12.99.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
even if but just buy that and play it once for one party, you're going to get your money's worth. Just if you just have you spent an hour playing that with some mates, it'd be well worth £12 for the laughter, the merriment that would follow out. What?
I'm shocked it's not more. I'm shocked it's not more. I feel like it should be. And it's very rare I ever look at something and go, no, that should cost more than it is. Like, I always feel like games are priced quite fairly these days. Some that aren't. But from what I've, even just from, the small amount of time I've played of this so far, I just genuinely think it should be more than that price. And I feel like they've just undercut themselves. But at the same point, VR, you want to get into the hands of everyone, and having that smaller entry fee always works better than having a bigger entry fee, because £40 games in VR don't always bode too well. But I think this, you're getting a lot of fun for that price. But,
yeah. I just read on the PC and thought it's listed for a BAFTA award. What on earth did it get? What BAFTA nomination?
The game, the VR version was nominated for a BAFTA award.
Yeah,
that's insane. But, yeah, I mean,
it was best debut game for. So
I think that's great.
It's also nominated for Family Game of the Year at the DICE Awards. So
wait, are you looking at the old version by any chance?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
I thought you meant the VR version has been nominated already.
Been nominated, it's not even out yet.
It's not out yet. No, it's nominated straight away. We believe in it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise this game was out on Switch already as well.
Yeah, I believe I feel like it started on Switch. I might be wrong. I know it's in the family library on Steam, and I haven't got.
I can't. It's get a bit like GT7 now. I can't imagine playing it in non-VR and be like, "Well, this is."
No, I don't think I'm gonna bother now. Like I think even when I come off this, I'm gonna jump back into it because I was playing a little bit before we came on here because I wanted to try both versions, and it runs great on both Quest and PSVR2. I can only assume the PC version runs great as well. There was no frame drops or anything, so it worked really well. And obviously, we were playing this, pre-release, so yeah, it's.
Oh yeah, I have no
issues whatsoever.
No comment there. Yeah, no criticism there. It ran and worked fine. The tracking of it all, it felt like when I missed a note, it was my fault. So
yeah, blame yourself all the time. But no.
So that's Trombone Champ, and I'm sure we'll come back to that again, like you say, when Alex has had a chance to have a play on that one and share his thoughts as well. Cool. The other game that you and I have both been playing is the Light Brigade. And we both decided to jump back in. Or I think you were playing for the first time, and I jumped back in.
First time ever, yeah.
So let's hear your thoughts on that one then.
I am so pissed off at myself that I waited this long to play this game.
Yeah, it's a Reece game, isn't it? It's a bit of a Reece game.
Yeah, I think you've said it. I think a lot of people said it. It's got my name written all over it. This is the game for me.
Shoot, yeah.
It's just really well made. It's a lot of fun, and then I also noticed it has a platinum as well. So I'm like, okay, right, I can sink some. This is going to be dangerous now. But I managed to do the first boss, and I think I jumped on it around about like.
Yeah. How many stages does it take to get to the first boss?
I don't know. I just kept on playing, and then I think I was down to about 5 health, and
I'm always down to 5 health.
It was 10 to 12, 10 to 12, and I was like, I've got work tomorrow. Let's end the run, which I regret. But at the same point, sleep came first, it seemed. But no, I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it.
For those that don't know, this game obviously was been out since day one on the headset. We've just got around to it because there's been some updates we wanted to check out. It's been very, very well supported since the release. There's been lots and lots of patches and updates and expansions for it, all free. So the game you may have overlooked this at launch. I think we'll both say take another look at it again. It's very good. It's a roguelike shooter, so a bit like Synapse. You're going in, there are permanent upgrades, so you level up characters, and as you keep playing it, you unlock different classes of character. So you start off with a rifleman, and each stage you do, each area you clear, you get XP basically, and then you move up a level, and every time you move up a level you get skill points to spend, and then you can upgrade your character class and stuff, and then eventually you unlock more character classes and more biome areas and stuff to play in and stuff, and so it expands and it gets more complex, but the gameplay loop is very good. The shooting on it is very good. I find the reloads, I quite like the reload on it. It's easy enough, and maybe I've got it set. You can probably have it on a more complicated mode, but you could press a button to drop the clip out and then just reach for a new one, put it in, and pull back the chamber
exactly I was doing
to prime it. But it's just the accuracy of it. I really like the way that you run along with it, and then when you put the rifle up to your face, your run just automatically moves into a walk, and you move much slower, so you can just fine tune that aiming. It works. It's really nice. It's quality of life things they've done really well with it.
I did notice there was no sprint really, or I'm kind of wondering if that's a skill.
No, I wish there was.
Okay, so it's not a skill.
I think it is a skill. I think it is a skill. Okay. Yeah, I think you can. And same way having a red dot as well, because I like that.
I found the red dot. I found it. I found it out of a chest and whacked it on the gun. And, but I will say, because a lot of VR games, I would like to say I struggle with the iron sights. It heavily depends on how the game's developed. A lot of shooting games can have very offset sights. It makes it quite difficult to aim like you would on one that would be really good at. But with this game, I found the iron sights to be that good that I was hitting headshots with no red dot on it or anything like that, and I found that really well made.
You can, because it's a rifle. I think if it doesn't, because it has to work, because you are a rifleman, so you need to look down the barrel of that rifle and pick out a shot, and the headshots are really satisfying, and you can pick them out really accurately. So that is great for it. The problem is you can't stand still for very long because the enemies will shoot you.
Oh yeah,
you do not get a lot of life. You can take 2 or 3 hits and
20. I think it was 20 life, and I think I accidentally walked over a bear trap and lost 8 health, and I was like,
"Yeah." What? As I said, you get 20 health, and each shot will take off kind of 10, and a wolf bite will take off 5, and a bear trap will take off. It's very easy to. I do like the way that if you're down to 5 health, whenever you get hit, you'll go down to 1. 1 health, and then you get a chance. There's like a little window where if you can survive long enough, it goes back to 5. So it is quite forgiving. So you just basically need to get your final shot. If you get hit more than once, you're dead basically. But that it's quite easy to walk into a new area and there'll be 4 or 5 people, different heights, different areas, and they'll all just start shooting you at once. So
and you get that skill as well, where you can pray and you can put your hands together, and when you do the pray, and it shows you where everyone is in the area, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
I only have one slight criticism, and that was just the loading screens. But then again,
there are a lot.
Yeah, it's like you finish the stage and you go through the gate and it loads, and then you go for the next bit, and it loads a little bit again. And I'm like, and I know why they're there, obviously, but at the same point, I wish they could be reduced a little bit. And I don't know if that's a little bit different on the Pro, or if they could make that a little bit different on the Pro. Because if so, with how much I'm enjoying it, it'd probably make me take a plunge.
I mean, yeah, they're there on the Pro, but I don't know if they're any quicker or what. I don't know. I don't think the Pro really does speed up loading times.
Nah, but they're a bit lengthy, but at the same point, it didn't ruin me wanting to go on to the next bit and continue playing. Yeah. I was really enjoying it, and I had to come off.
I would say, game devs, if you're going to put loading screens in, just give me some lore that randomizes for me to read whilst you're doing it. Stuff like Skyrim or like games. You don't really get so much these days because the loading schemes aren't really a thing on PS5. But yeah, when there are loading screens, just give me like a lore or a hint or something that I can cycle through. Just give me something to read. Because all that moment is you just see various bits of text like loading this, loading that. It's telling you in real time what bit of the thing it's loading. Which
loading
is
shaders. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like, I don't need to know that you're loading the shaders. Just give me a loading bar.
Loading dynamic shadows.
Yeah, and I always think that's a bit like why are you? It's like when they show you the version code and stuff constantly. I'm like, why do I need to see this? This is like hide this stuff. This is game dev stuff. I don't need to see that.
That's in case you ever need to make a complaint and they go, can I just make sure what version your code you're on? Like, where the hell do I find that? And there's like, I see big letters going across the screen. You can always see it. Like, oh, that thing. That's what that is.
But yeah,
no,
so
I'm
well,
enjoying
that's
it.
good. So you can get buffs as well if you find chests that will have cards. And I love the cards because they've got a kind of 3D effect on them, haven't they? That just you pick them up and you want to sort of move them around. And you go, like, wow, look at that! It's kind of like some cool effect on it. It just feels really good. For me, good. I think it's brutally hard for me. I wish there was just like an easy or more casual mode, which I do in everything. I will never complete this game. It's just it's too punishingly difficult for me, but I wish you luck. I hope you can do it. Game devs just have a normal mode and then just have, for people like me, when you fail a few times, just let me unlock a casual mode and just give me more health or make the enemies less attacky and just make it easier for me because I'm just not going to play otherwise.
I'm assuming you've done the first boss, haven't you? The one with the ice that kind of like does the clouds.
I don't think I've made it that far.
Oh, really?
How many stages is it?
I don't know. I'm going to say 5, 6, maybe. You must have done the first boss. I'm going to have a look at your trophies. I'll see if you've done it. But like, I thought the boss, it was very well designed. But once I finished the boss, I was like, is that it? Like, roguelike bosses have always kind of really knocked me on my arse the first time I've ever come up against them. And this one, well, no, it was
like I say, I am not you, Reece. This is a shooting game. This is not my thing.
I'm saying in general for anyone else that might come against like the boss. I'm just wondering if they found I've always found roguelikes to be very difficult. They're not usually my go-to thing. Like Synapse, the first boss on that with the one with the giant machine gun.
Yeah, I've done them.
That ruined me about 3 times before I completed it.
Oh, well, I did that first time. Peace.
All right, Mr. Cocky.
I didn't. I didn't do that. Second time though, and I worked it out. That's such a good boss, that guy. Oh, Synapse, what a game! But this game, if you like Synapse, you'll love Light Brigade. It's
just a bit slower. It's a bit slower.
It is a bit slower. And I think for me, like, you start off in that kind of ice forest type environment. Yeah. I would like. It's not the most interesting of things, and they keep adding more environment types. It's just like I would like to see them at some point, and I never will. So that's a shame. And they keep adding more and more character classes. It's like, well, I'm never going to unlock that because I'm never going to get. I'd like to just be able to maybe pick like 2 or 3 from the start, just rather than just having the one. But these are me complaints. This is me just wanting less pushback in my games always, but. There you go.
Give Laurie an easy mode.
I think it's figure. Oh, also, it has a Souls-like type thing where other players will leave stuff in the game. There's that kind of well, I don't know what you call it, where it's like multiplayer but not, where they're just going to leave things in the game and you can go up to them and pray next to them, and then you get their power. They give you power ups basically. And then I was playing it, and someone actually came into my game and was just started shooting all the dudes for me. I was like, oh, I don't know who this person is. Is this an AI? Is this a real person that's doing this right now? I wasn't complaining though, because I wasn't complaining because there was someone just going around like killing the enemies for me, and I was in a bit of a rough spot. It was those eagle birds things that were attacking me, were pissing me off. And then this dude just turned up and just took all the enemies out for me. I was like, can you just play the whole game with me, please?
Yeah, maybe you find out it was AI.
Does this game have co-op? Because if we do, then I can just play with you, and you can just clear the way for me.
It does have co-op, though. I want to play in co-op. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a look.
I don't know what was going on, but it was definitely someone, because after they'd done it, they were running around like it seemed like a human, the way they were moving, and they had their username above their head and stuff. And then at the end of it, they gave me a power up. And then when I left the area, I never saw him again. So if you were that person, if you were playing like Brigade today on Friday the 22nd, and you helped me out, then let me know, and we'll say thank you.
Yeah, if you saw a soldier just hiding behind a tree, screaming for his life, then that was Laurie.
Leave me alone! Fucking birds.
He saved his life, and for that, he was able to do the podcast tonight. So, you've done a justice there.
So, yeah, I'm glad you liked it. I thought you would. And also, I would say this is one that I played on when it first came out, and I didn't like it I didn't like it. It's kind of, I couldn't do it. It was too overwhelming. The whole VR was all quite new to me. This is probably not a game to play if you're a complete VR newcomer. Playing it now, I don't know what I was worried about before. This is, I really, it plays really nice. The VR mechanics in it are really good. So, yeah, if you've maybe tried this one before, when you're new to VR like me, come back to it and give it another go, because it's definitely a well-made game.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Well, I think we are running quite long there, Reece, so I think we should probably leave it there, unless you've got anything else that you can't wait to tell everyone all about. No,
nothing else. They were the only two games I've really been playing. A lot of other stuff here and there, but yeah, just similar to what I was playing last week. Things like that again. So.
Wow, there you go. That's been episode 91 for you. Another busy show of VR awards to discuss. PlayStation blog updates, new game reveals, new updates, Light Brigade, Trombone Champ, GT7 and the PS5 Pro. Let's just all kick it off. What will next week bring? Well, find out next week. Until then, thanks you for listening. And if you've enjoyed this episode, we'd love it if you could please tell your family and your friends all about us. And if you'd like to get more involved, please do not hesitate to jump into our Discord and say hello. I've been your host, Laurie. This guy has been Reece, and we will see you again next time. Until then, it's goodbye.